Hi, I'm Jennifer and I'm here at the San Joaquin Wildlife Sanctuary in Irvine, California. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about how to photograph birds in flight. So when you're photographing birds in flight, there's 3 essential settings that you really want to focus on: your shutter speed, your aperture, and your ISO. So for birds in flight, the size of the bird will really depend on how fast you need to be photographing them. For the larger the bird, the less fast you need to be. For the smaller the bird, like a hummingbird or a tree swallow, you're going to need to have very fast shutter speed. So there's 2 ways to control this. One, you can use shutter priority on your camera. This will allow you to decide what kind of shutter speed you want, and your aperture will adjust accordingly. The other setting that you can use for shutter speed, which is something I use, which is manual. Manual will allow you to control all your settings in your camera so that you have the most creative control possible. The second setting that you need to focus on is your aperture. When a bird is moving quickly, it can be difficult to get the exact focus point that you want. So one of the best ways to control this is to have a larger aperture. So this means you're photographing more at f8, f7.1. This will allow you to get more of the bird in focus and have a higher success of getting a sharp image of your bird flying. The third setting you really want to focus on is your ISO. So your ISO will depend on your light quality, and as birds move from shadows to highlights in the area that you're photographing, your ISO will change. So if you're a seasoned pro, you can use manual ISO like I do, and this will allow you to control it. If you're still just learning, this is a great opportunity to use a more automatic setting in your camera, which would be auto ISO. Auto ISO will allow you to have more creative control with your shutter speed and aperture, and let your camera do the thinking when it comes to what kind of ISO you need to have. For beginners, I definitely suggest this setting. The next thing I want to talk to you about when it comes to photographing birds in flight is what kind of focus you want. I recommend using autofocus C on Nikon or all servo when you're photographing in Canon. This means autofocus continuous. This will allow you to track your subjects as they move within the frame, allowing you to get more opportunity to photograph your bird sharp as it's flying. The next setting I want to talk to you about is your focus point. So when you're photographing a bird in flight, you have a lot of opportunities for your camera to decide how many focus points you want. I always recommend selecting fewer focus points. This will allow you to have more control in what you're photographing. So for me, I use single point focus. So the next thing you want to think about when you're photographing birds in flight is your light. So as with photographing any subject, you are looking at either front lit or backlit or side lit. I always recommend, when possible, to photograph your birds in flight with front lit light. So what that means is you want to have your back to the sun. This will light up your subjects, giving you more opportunity for faster shutter speeds and higher apertures. Another tip for photographing birds in flight is that birds will typically take off into the wind. This allows them to pick up airspeed. So what you would like to do is get your birds flying towards you. So what you should do is put your back to the wind as well, and this will get your birds flying towards you for a more attractive angle. My last tip for you for today is angle. With any subject, it's better to be eye level, so do your best to get in a position where the birds are eye level to you as they're flying. This could be an elevated position like up on a cliff, photographing from the roof of a building, or photographing birds as they're landing or taking off from water, so getting down to the water level. hope you found these tips helpful and you'll get wonderful pictures of birds in flight. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video.